A Letter from Yesterday. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Post. It had been a year since Clara moved into her new home. Tucked away in the corner of a quiet street, the house stood like a forgotten relic from the past. The paint had started to chip away, revealing the gray bones beneath, but Clara loved it. There was something calming about the isolation, a silence that helped her think. It had been a rough few months, but things were finally settling. Clara's morning routine was predictable. She brewed her coffee, took her notebook, and scribbled down words of thoughts and feelings, trying to put her life back together after a series of unfortunate events. Her job at the local museum was nothing extraordinary, but it paid the bills. Still, something felt amiss. She often longed for the spark of adventure that had once characterized her life. It was on one of these uneventful mornings that Clara's gaze landed on something unexpected, a letter. It was buried beneath a pile of bills and advertisements, its yellowed edges making it look ancient, almost out of place with the rest of her mundane mail. She picked it up, noticing faded handwriting on the front. To Clara Henson, 10th March, 2001. Her eyes widened. Today was the 10th of March, but the year on the letter was clearly over a decade old. The paper felt oddly warm in her hands, as if it had been waiting to be opened. Without thinking, Clara ripped open the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper, its edges curled and fragile. The words were written in a flowing script, and as she read them, a chill ran down her spine. Dearest Clara, if you are reading this, then I have failed. I am sorry that it took so long for me to send this letter. The world you live in now is not the world I knew, but I trust you will understand when the time comes. Look to the past, Clara. The answers lie there, hidden within the memories we have long forgotten. Do not be afraid to search. Your journey begins with the turning of this page. With love, Yesterday. Chapter 2. The Hidden Room. The letter felt like a puzzle, its cryptic message gnawing at Clara's mind. Who was this yesterday, and why had they written to her? The words haunted her for days, echoing in her thoughts, until she could not ignore them any longer. Clara spent hours searching her house, sifting through old boxes, and sifting through mementos of a life she had forgotten. It was not until the sun began to set that she found it, the old bookcase in the living room. It had always been there, a fixture she would pass by 1,000 times without a second glance. But tonight something about it seemed different. She moved towards it and ran her fingers along the spines of the books. One book, buried deep in the center, caught her eye. She pulled it out, and with a soft click, the bookcase shifted. A secret door swung open, revealing a narrow staircase leading down into the darkness. The air in the room smelt musty, old, like a forgotten memory. Clara hesitated for a moment, but then descended the stairs, the wooden steps creaking under her weight. The passage led to a small underground chamber, dimly lit by a single flickering light bulb. In the center of the room stood a wooden desk, its surface cluttered with old photographs, papers, and books. Clara felt an inexplicable pull toward it, as if some unseen force was urging her to explore. She picked up the nearest photograph, a black and white image of a young woman standing in front of a large mansion. The face looked familiar, though Clara could not place it. She glanced at the handwriting beneath it, which read, "Your mother, before the fall." Clara's breath caught in her throat. Her mother. She had no memory of this mansion, or of her mother, looking so young. Clara had grown up in foster care after her parents had died when she was a child. Her past was a blur of fragmented memories and unanswered questions. But this photo, This photo was something she had never seen before. She rummaged through the papers on the desk, finding journals filled with similar cryptic notes, all signed by Yesterday. Clara's heart pounded. The more she read, the clearer it became. These were memories of a life she never lived, her mother's life, her family's life, and the most unsettling discovery of all. The address on the letters was her own, her house, her name, but in a time that should not have been possible. Chapter 3. Unraveling the Mystery. Clara spent the next several days obsessively reading the journals. Each entry offered glimpses of a world long gone, a world she felt connected to, but did not fully understand. As the letters and photographs began to stack up, Clara found herself questioning everything about her life, about who she was, and who yesterday really was. There were entries about a woman named Evelyn Henson, Clara's mother, though she had never known her name, who had once lived in the mansion Clara had seen in the photo. The journal spoke of terrible accident, tragedy that had caused her family to disappear from the world's memory. The more Clara read, the more she began to unravel a story of betrayal, love, and loss. Evelyn had been part of a secret society dedicated to protecting ancient knowledge. She had kept many secrets, some of which were too dangerous for Clara to ever know. But one truth stood out among all the others. Clara was the key to unlocking the past, the only one who could retrieve what had been lost. One evening, Clara was struck with a thought. Could yesterday be her mother, or was it something else? A ghost, a memory, or something beyond the realm of understanding? Chapter 4. The Turning Point. The days blurred together as Clara delved deeper into her family's history. Every new discovery felt like a step closer to something both terrifying and exhilarating. She began to have vivid dreams of a woman who looked just like her, standing in front of the same mansion, calling her name. The dreams always ended the same way, with the woman reaching out, but Clara never had the courage to touch her hand. It was on the 5th night of these dreams that Clara woke to a loud thud. She rushed downstairs to find the letter from yesterday, glowing faintly on the floor, as if beckoning her. The words had changed. Clara, it is time. You have come far, but there is one final step. You must return to where it all began, to the place where your family was lost. Only then will you understand. Without hesitation, Clara grabbed her coat and drove to the mansion. The house was still there, though abandoned and decaying, but tonight it felt alive with energy. She walked through the front doors, the air heavy with anticipation. Inside, everything was just as it had been in her dreams. The grand staircase, the old paintings, the faded memories, all came rushing back. Clara moved through the house with purpose, guided by some unseen force. In the attic, hidden behind a false wall, she found a chest. Inside the chest was a book, one that matched the journals, but this one was different. This was the final entry, the last piece of the puzzle. I am Evelyn, and you, Clara, are my daughter. This is our legacy. You are the keeper of what has been lost. Do not fear the past, for it is the key to the future. Chapter 5. Resolution. Clara stood in the attic, holding the book, her heart racing. For the first time, she felt at peace, as if everything in her life had led her to this moment. She understood now the secrets of the past, the ones she had feared, were not something to be afraid of. They were part of who she was, part of her story. In that moment, Clara understood her purpose. She was not just a daughter of the past. She was a bridge between the lost world of yesterday and the uncertain future of today. And as she left the mansion, the final letter tucked safely in her pocket, Clara knew that she had not only discovered her family's history, but she had also rediscovered herself. The journey was not over. It had only just begun. And